the light is bad, it's the wrong time of day, but you're out and you're in a pretty amazing place to try to capture some photos. So what do? Do you pack up and go home, or do you make the best of it? And it's early September here in Minnesota. That is a really good time for photographing pollinators, the bees, the wasps, yes I did say wasps, butterflies, all typically are pretty active, except days like today you're really not going to get much in the way of butterflies, but certainly bees will be something that you can get some really good photos of. And if you go to any nature center at any park, you're typically going to find a butterfly garden similar to what we have right here. And that's going to have all kinds of activity, but you might need to be a little patient in order to try to get some decent shots. So you have to wait for them to get a little bit comfortable with you. I do find for this type of photography to use a longer lens as opposed to a macro. So today for what I'm going to be photographing here is going to be primarily using my 100 to 400 millimeter lens. Being said, that's not the only thing that you can capture, so we'll also be walking the trails and trying to find what else is out there that we can capture. Probably looking for more detail type shots. Days like today, it is really gray out. So larger landscapes probably are not going to be as interesting. Maybe if we had some fog or mist or something like that, or if it was raining, that would certainly help. But I don't think we're really going to get that today. So we're just going to make the best of it, see what we can find, and hopefully come away with some good shots. These yellow flowers seem to really be attracting these wasps, and just observing them for a little bit gives you an idea of how they're moving around. And one of the things that I like is I can get some nice profiles of them, and especially as they go from one set of blooms to another, it gives me a shot that looks like this. And kind of like that step over, gives a little bit of story. I also like the wings up. But then I got lucky and it turned around and started facing me, and I was able to get this really nice detail of the head with a nice fade off towards the back. And then just looking at some other blooms right there, getting this one in this sort of bent over position, really going in and getting the pollen. And I think that gives a really nice set of 3 photos. So here's another interesting shot. And this one kind of goes to the whole idea of wabi-sabi. Nothing is permanent. But I like the fact that in the background, slightly out of focus, I have some flowers that are actually in pretty nice shape. And this one that is near the end of its time right here in the foreground. Now I didn't come here with the idea of shooting macro. In fact, I left my macro lens at home. But today's lenses on these mirrorless cameras do allow you to still focus in pretty close. And so in this case, I'm at 120 millimeters. Just zoomed in, and this is giving me the opportunity to get in close. Yeah, I'll probably have to do a little bit of cropping afterwards, but that's okay. It's always okay to do some cropping. There's plenty of resolution in today's cameras to get away with that. So I looked around, I decided I didn't really want to have the flowers in the background like that because it was just a little bit too distracting, I thought. So started looking around for an angle, found this one, which just really has foliage back there. And I thought I would maybe start by capturing some images a little bit from the side. And so I got this one, and it's okay. It is a little bright back there in some areas. I can probably do a little bit of work, but thought maybe a little bit more of a head-on shot would work better, especially since I like what the center of this flower is giving me, but again, still wasn't crazy about the background. So then I thought, well, maybe if I have the flowers peeking in from the corner and having this one, or the main subject, just kind of reaching out across, maybe that would give something a little bit stronger. So this is what I came up with. Ultimately, not overly happy with this one either. But of the 3, I think it probably is the most interesting in terms of story. At this point, I thought I would head down the trail. As you've seen in previous videos, I'm not very good at walking with the camera, so I thought I would just put this photo up just while I went and did that. So this is one of the trails at Richardson Nature Center where I'm putting this video together. And one area I wanted to go down to is there's this small lake that has a number of tree stumps sticking out of the water. I like these stumps in the foreground, and I do like the background. You got a little bit of a reflection going on. I think maybe just bring it down just a little bit, and I think I do like that shot. So let's see what we can get with these. I always like playing around with these tree stumps here. I think they make really nice subjects. So I decided to zoom in just a little bit just to remove that sky. That sky is just gray, actually. A little bit of thunder starting to happen, so also realized I need to start working maybe a little bit quicker here, but I just really liked the way that these made a really nice foreground element. And I thought the next thing I would try is just getting some of the stumps that are along the shoreline. And I've always liked the three that I have in the foreground here, and I decided that instead of trying to have everything nice and sharp front to back, I would actually go with just a little bit of a fade in focus as you go down that line of stumps. And I thought that worked pretty nice, added a little bit additional depth. I tried a couple other angles too with this, but I liked this one the best. As I got lower, started to have too many things overlapping. And then finally, with this one, it was really more about the flowers, but wanted to have the one stump in there. It does throw the balance of the photo off a little bit, but in this case, I think I'm okay with that. I actually kind of like the fact that I've got that. So I'm just going to stick with that. And now it's really starting to thunder, so I think it is time to probably pack up and get out. Just after taking that last photo, it really started to come down quite hard, and that coupled with the thunder and lightning definitely meant it was time to get out of there. So I made my way quickly to the visitor center and packed up my gear. But hopefully one of the things you take away from this video is that even if you do end up someplace the light's not maybe what you wanted, or the time of day isn't what you wanted, which happens pretty frequently when you travel, or even just as part of the workday. Sometimes we just can't be out when we want to. Doesn't mean that you can't get some good photos, that you can't have a good time out there with your camera. So hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. If you did like it, hit that subscribe button and also hit that like. And thanks. Bye.